Right, now then, this is Blackhead. It's a lighthouse, got a complex scene here. It's on the Antrim coast. So again, I'm working Bockingford paper, £140 in weight. I'm going to stretch it, just tape it to the corners. And I've taken a little bit of time sketching here because that's going to be the focal point. And as explaining to somebody earlier, you either have the focal point up here, or down here, here, or here. Think of noughts and crosses, okay? And that creates interest then. If you put it in the centre, it's boring, right? And that's what you don't want. You don't want a boring picture. Now, what I've done, I've written down just some suggestions. I'll often do this with my sketch pad. You know, there's a bit of red in the lighthouse there, so I've written that down. Cliffs are light grey with green gorse, red bracken, and a reddish soil as well. So I've got all that information now, so I can put those colours on there. And now, this is where, right, I always say use plenty of water, and it's mad using it this angle really. It's so steep, the water's going to be running. But this is where, it's like sometimes in life, God says to you, you got to trust me here now with this. And then sometimes you really got to trust me here. Well, it's like this with water. You really got to trust the water here, and you'll see why, you know, right? So if I put some over there, and watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go around these white buildings, right? See what I'm doing? I'm not labouring it, I'm just giving that right. Now then, I'll put some more water up here now. And this is where you have to trust the water. If a bead has run down like that, no problem. Get some tissue on it, that's all. Just get some tissue on it. Now then. Now I've put that on there. What I'm going to have to do is get the dark here so the lighthouse will stand out, okay? So that means I'm going to put my light source up on this corner, right? So we'll have a light source up here. Now then, let's get the ultramarine blue. We'll get that in up there. Get the ultramarine blue. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, but sienna dries quicker than all the other colours, okay? Well, that's what I have found in experience. So why that is, I don't know, but it just is. So I don't just leave sienna, I always get the colour merging into it first. I can come back to this now. Now then, let's have a look here. So it's only sienna I'm using, and I'm coming around these buildings, right? So even at this angle, the water is more or less staying where I put it. See that? That's what I'm saying about trusting the water. But I could do with it being a bit darker than that, because I know this is going to dry a lot lighter, okay? So if I put a little bit of light red with it, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to use less water. So I'm coming around this lighthouse. Now, if I did go with the white, it's not the end of the world. Because we've got gouache, we've got white gouache. And we could put white gouache on it, so it wouldn't matter anyway. Okay, but if you can do it, well, let's do it, innit? So you can see how I'm keeping the light source from here. So it's lighter up there, but darker around the lighthouse. Now then, what we'll do now, I'm going to almost dry brush. And if I leave that part's going to dry before this, and it's going to create a big stain up here. It'll draw that up and create a stain, so we need to get that off there. Just, although it looks like that, it'll go back the same colour again. Same up here. Now, what we'll do, I think that's more or less it. I think that's... That's more or less it, I think. Right, that's it. Now with the sky, even if it hadn't come out right, okay, what you can always do is get a brush, but it's got to be a soft haired brush, a squirrel brush, all right? And because it's that soft, when you put the water on it again, it doesn't disturb the paint underneath. And you can drop more colour in. See, you can do that.
Can you put more yellow on there?
Not really. You'd have to wet it all.
Oh.
And then drop the colour in. You'd have to do it that way. Couldn't just do an area, you know? But now, see, that's great there. And so what I might do now is get all this cliff work in, and I'll leave all this to the last. And so let's work on, I'm going to use the Chinese brush now. Right, okay. So I've got a thing, I've got greens, I've got light greys, I've got red bracken, soil. So I've got all those different colours coming in to play, right? So why don't I mix, first off, a nice grey. So I'm using cadmium red there with that, okay? So I'm only going to put this in just in places. But it's a warm grey, it's not like a boring grey. It's, now then, let's get the sienna in here. And it's lovely like this, you can just drop all these colours in and they'll merge. And then let's get a bit of light red in, I think, as well now. Because you have got bracken here and there. That comes down the cliff face.
I don't know where to start.
But you can see, because I've put plenty of water on, it's all still quite soft, see, it'll merge together. Now, what I want now is, let's get some blue in here now, and mix that in now. So this is going to go like a mauve, because there's red underneath. This is great, that will. I'm going to have the waves, although this is straight, when I put the gouache on, the waves will come up here. So I'm going to worry too much. Now let's get the green in now. So I'm using some lemon yellow, bit of some cadmium yellow. See what this is like. Yep, that's okay. Yeah, we had a wonderful weekend at Penyrheol. Gwyneth and I, it's a conference centre.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were at them.
And yeah, it was, there was about 80 to 90 of us, a lot of children, and you got rooms with table tennis, snooker, everything. I was asked to do an art class on the Saturday. And I had 19, which was absolutely manic.
Oh, was it?
Trying to get around 19 people, but you know, I no clue how it went till people are coming on after, you know. I know when he came on in tears and said, you'll never know how much that meant for me. So yeah, it's so surprising, isn't it? Now see, got all those lovely colours there. See that? But now what we could do, I might get some colour in there now while it's like that actually. Let's, I'm going to use a dark now. What I mean by that is, when I say dark, there's not so much water, right? It's that much stronger. And it's good just to try this in an area and see. That's quite soft, see? So that's working in there now. So I don't want this everywhere. I just want it in areas I can follow up later and work on, okay? So let's look at a dark area there. See, see this light? I'm going to use that light negatively, see? So it'll be like the light is catching that rock there. And again, you just want to be You don't want it everywhere, you want that sort of interest, you know. So let's get another dark up in here, I think. But again, you've got to watch you don't repeat yourself, you know, because it's surprising how we do that, you know, instinctively. What do you want really is that sort of variation, really. So it's a bit of nonsense this is, but it's, you know, it works. Okay. So again, it's still very soft. So what I'm putting on is merging. And, right, okay. So we can leave that there for now. And I'm still going to work on this before I come back up to there to do the lighthouse, okay? So now I need, the sky you always determine the sea. You know, it's a bit overcast. So it's going to be not an exact blue, more grey blue, you know?
Like the sea in our country.
Like, yeah, just like old Penyrheol or Barry Island. I mean, you said that we were in Barry yesterday morning with our Leah. Asha goes into school at 12, half 12. So let's go to Barry for an hour. And Leah's funny, she jumps into the car and she said, oh Dad, I love my life. That's lovely, isn't it? But she's into sort of wild swimming and that at the moment. She sent me photographs of the week. She was up in the quarry up in the Brazilians. There we go. Now you see. Now I can get a lot of movement in here now. Let's try it with this brush now. No, I'll use this one to be firmer. If I mix again, it's less water. See, that's how you get dark. I'm putting a bit of red in it. Just see how we get on here now. See the flow I'm working on? Now let's put a bit of green in that. So again, it's all very soft, so this is just all merging in now. And I'm going to put the green in with this. So take it off that blue. Now when I put the gouache on here later, this will really come to life, really. Okay? So we'll leave that. Right, just leave that there for now. What I'm going to do with these buildings, I better start, I think, with, I'll start with the roofs, I think. Let's get a dark up in here. And that's going to be dark that side. So I want this to be darker than the sky. So a piece comes in the back. There's a chimney comes up there, but I'll do it with gouache. I'll mess around with it now. Now see, I'm soaking it up here because that side will be lighter. And I'm going to soak that up too. Then you've got a piece that comes out here. And then you've got another piece that comes out here. It's surprising when you start working, light's coming from that side, so this will be darker. Right, now then. I'm going to get the white now, and let's get the crisp white edges here. So although I try to go round. If I isn't a crisp edge, I can do this. See? Now then I can mix a nice blue here. I'm using gouache with this. And let's just see we get on. Okay. Now this far side I'm going to put lighter again. Can you see the stand out now?
Mm.
Now we're going to leave that. I can't do much more to that now. So I'm going to come back in here and guess I'll use this one again, I think. Yeah, I'll use this one. So let's start on the glass first, I think. And get the... So this is going to be darker green now, which will be more... Light's coming from that side, you see? So you want the light catching, which you'll go with gouache and get some light greens in. But let's get some of the darks in. And already you're creating a bit of interest up here now. And then it'll be dark as it comes down, because it'll be in shadow. Be dark. So I'm scumbling the brush now. Right, let's get some of this fine detail in now. So I'm using light red with an ultramarine blue, and it's almost neat, not a lot of water. And when you do this, you've always got a choice to wash it away with the water or just dab it with your fingers, okay? Mm. So let's choose a little area and see how we get on. Let's choose this area here. So, you see, I'm capitalizing on the light catching this. So it's going to look... So I'm looking for an interesting shape here. And then I'll get the dark in by here too, that's under here, because that will be in shadow. Now if it's too pronounced, we'll try dabbing it first of all. Let's try that now. And that'll push it back a bit. See, it's not as so dark then. Now let's come down by here as well. Here. I'll come over this with some gouache and light blues and everything, and it'll all come together. And I want it dark down here towards the water's edge for the white to register breaking up over the rock. Okay. So let's come in this end now as well. And again, we're working bits here and there. That's all, just suggestion. See, you can follow this all the way. Just get crags. You got a nice green there, haven't you? Wasn't planned, it's just one of those things. But then you can work on it, capitalize on it. So let's get that in there. get dark in here. I think I'm going to wash this away. So you can wash it like that. So it goes to nothing then. It's not a sharp edge at all. Can do that.
I don't think he could have improved on what he did just now and done it.
Now then. Let's get the watercolour up on the waves, I think is best. So you can see I'm just flicking it off like that, right? So you've got the water trickling down here. Can you see that? And you'll have water breaking in here. Might it's lovely to have this weather again now, isn't it? I'm hoping Saturday, get my easel out if I can and get out somewhere. Because this weather is beautiful now, isn't it? If we can. You can see the difference already now with this. We've taken away that straight edge now. Just gives a bit of interest. And what we can do, you've really got to, the brush has got to come on its side for this to work. Let's try it there. Where you got the water falling down. See that? It's like falling back down there. Okay. Before I come on to all this, let's get back onto the lighthouse now. A wall that goes up there, if I remember. Now I want a darker blue for this side here. Now I've got this blue here. If I was to bring this blue in parts, only here and there. There we go. Yeah, we were in Penyrheol and I met somebody I hadn't seen for years called Emmanuel. He's from Nigeria, but when I was a minister in Cardiff, he arrived on a Saturday, come from Sierra Leone, and then his family arrived the next week. And lovely, lovely family. He worked with the UN, so he'd be off to places like Kosovo and North Macedonia. And his wife then looked after the children. And then, as they grew up, they moved to Swansea and they had a practice.
Yeah, it goes to Jenny's church.
That's right, that's right.
Oh,
Trouble was, we were up till being about 1 in the morning, catching up on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it more white there, no? So I think we just leave that there now. Just to show you, if I get a bit of a swell in here, look. This is where the gouache is such a help, particularly with seascapes, you know. But you've got to keep that flow going, you know. But it needs more surf, I think. Breaking here. It's a bit too uniform. That's better. There we go. I think what I might do is get a bit of a green on here. A bit too on the blue side. No, I'll put a bit of blue in it.
I think you pick up on this too much. So I'm going to pick it in now. That's the right way.
There we go, I think. So of course you can tint it and, you know. Now then, let's come back to the grass on the top then. Let's mix the green, light green, put in some gouache in it. And we want the light to be catching this now, okay? You see that?
Yeah.
And then we'll the light catching it a bit for there again. That's a bit of difference, isn't it? This bit of light. So the gouache is not just using it as white, you're tinting it with colours. You see all of these old paintings of Molens, you know, with heather and that, with Victorians, and they're all done like this, where they just tint the watercolour with opaque white, you know, which is like gouache really. And there we go. Let's get a little bit of light coming down here, I think. Vary that. Oh, get some down here too. Now then, let's get the detail in. Let's have a look here now. Take our time here now. Pardon me. Oh. If you're doing this and it isn't working with a pen, it needs to dry off, okay? It's picking up the light, that's what it is. Like now. Pardon me.
Do you want me to go use some?
Oh, I'm alright, man. This is how I am. Usually it's about 2 in the morning. I think that's it. Now, if you have the mount, there's a mount behind you, Dave. Pardon me. And what we could do then, right, that's not so bad actually.
Oh,
Let's put him on there.
oh,
And then give it a bit of life. Like. Just like in school, that's all it is. Just a suggestion. Okay. And there we are. That's Blackhead Lighthouse. And the Antrim course. Yeah? Job done.